In Abuja, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, as the Christmas and New Year festivities reach its peak, security agencies in the Federal Capital Territory have moved to address crimes such as armed robbery, one-chance operations, car thefts, and snatching of valuables linked with the festive season that have remained concerns for residents. The police, working with sister agencies under the codename Operation Sweep FCT, say measures are in place to secure the territory. Elias Onotu again reports.
It is the Yuletide season, and across the Federal Capital Territory, sectorized security patrols and checkpoints are now visible. The reason behind these dominants are not far-fetched. Recurrent threats of armed robbery, one-chance incidences, attacks on commuters at bus stops during odd hours, car thefts, and cases of valuables snatched by suspected criminals abound. These developments have continuously given residents of the nation's capital cause for worry.
There are a couple of picking pockets around. You see, this place used to be very crowded, and I used to hear that there are a couple of security challenges around there, mostly at night.
I was coming into town, so I dropped here. So I forgot my phone in the vehicle, and I was trying to rush to the driver. Like, I forgot my phone. So the security people actually helped me go after the cab and stopped him, and I got my phone back. So I think that's nice.
The issue of security is everybody's concern. There's need for us as citizens of this country for peace and harmony to exist, for us to have a very secured environment and secure communities.
In response, the FCT Police Command, in collaboration with sister agencies, commenced phases of the Special Operations Sweep FCT. The operation includes show of force, motorized patrol, stop and search, raids on identified black spots, and intelligence-led deployments across districts and satellite towns. Police authorities say the strategy is aimed at crime prevention before, during, and after the Yuletide celebrations.
These strategies employed during the time under review around strengthened community policing engagements, sustained intelligence-led policing, targeted clearance operations, enhanced visibility policing, public enlightenment, and strategic communication.
With a specific charge to protect critical assets and infrastructure on their part, the NSCDC FCT made deployments of 4,000 personnel across the territory, sounding a firm warning to criminal groups that the operation will continue through Christmas, the New Year, and beyond, with arrests and prosecution of suspects.
It's a period where people who have not met their targets are, trying to rush to ensure that they meet targets and, if possible, overshoot the target. So we are expecting more criminality to unfold. And of course, we too, we are strategically positioning ourselves. FCT corridors is going to be free. We are going to extend it till next year.
The security agencies also remind residents that the FCT administration policy charge to ban fireworks remain in force, noting that enforcement teams will respond to violators accordingly. In Abuja, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Thank you. Now I'm being joined by Yahuza Geso, who is a security investigation and intelligence management expert. Thank you, sir, for joining us on Saturday Discourse.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, security, you've always advised us as an expert to say is everyone's business. Absolutely. And taking it from there, there's a, Yuletide, there's a festive season. What should we be doing now as citizens, as residents of the FCT, from an expertise point of view?
First of all, I want to commend the Nigerian police and the sister agencies that they have been working assiduously day and night to ensure the security and safety of the Federal Capital Territory and beyond. And at the same time, we must acknowledge the participation of the neighborhood of Nasarawa, Kaduna, and other neighboring states to the FCT, who have been doing their best. What is expected of us as members of the public, as citizens and residents of the FCT, and those who might come for a celebration period, are four things. One, I employ, I advocate, and I charge each and every one to do what I call and sing as Operation Know Your Neighbor. We must do everything possible to identify ourselves with our neighborhood. Don't feel that you are too big for your neighbor. You should know your neighbor and encourage your wife to also visit one another, and also initiate a community-based strategic activity as a come together, probably a meeting, probably a session to drink, to eat, to dance, and to celebrate the period, all of you, during the Salah, during the Christmas, and during all festivities. This will help for your children and all of us to be brothers keepers. Nigeria is ours, and security is everybody's business. That is one. Secondly, we must envision understanding who is on the streets. This will help us to identify the strangers in our marketplaces, in our business places. We are moving on the road, and we can also strategically and systematically identify unwanted behaviors from individuals, and quickly do number three, which is make sure that in every estate, in every market, in every group, in every association, in every church and in every mosque, you make available the distress call from the DSS, from the police, from the civil defense, from the Nigerian army, and from all the intelligentsia, and work assiduously and closely with vigilant groups and other non-formal security sectors. This will help in ensuring that those criminals will be deterred from coming around, not even committing the atrocities. And number three, Operation Check Ourselves.
That's number four.
Yeah, number four. Operation Check Ourselves. At a time, if you cannot see your neighbor, or you cannot see your friends, or on Xmas Day, or any time, if you didn't see your neighbor, or your friend, or your brother moving around with his vehicle, the vehicle has been parked for a long time, you should quickly make a phone call. Because some of us, the mother and the children will travel away to Maiduguri, away to Enugu, away to where, while the head of household will remain in. He may be ill, he may die in the house, nobody knows. So whenever you didn't see the movement of your brother or your neighbor, you should make a phone call. And on Xmas Day, or on the New Year Day, or any other time, on Friday evening, if you didn't see your neighbor, you didn't hear from him, please send an SMS. Happy Friday, have a pleasant weekend, how are you, just checking on you, and so on and so forth. This will help in systematic and strategic partnership and collaboration with all the security agencies, because the number of security personnel that we have are not really adequate to serve us. So we have to be vigilant.
Okay.
We have to be committed. We have to be serious. And we have to participate actively in ensuring the security and safety of life and property.
Well, that's an expertise view on just the first question we've asked, and you've said almost everything. But I must ask you now, during these periods, it is very common you see crowds around recreational centers, around public spaces. So what advice would you be giving to say, yes, the police know what to do, but I think we need to also support them as an expert. What should they also be doing, the security agencies as well as the residents?
Well, for the security agencies, they should have the phone numbers of the traditional and religious leaders at their fingertips, as well as other head of civil society organizations. And they should also have encouraged the divisional police offices and outposts to mobilize those unions and those community-based structures to ensure that there is collaboration and close partnership. And at the same time, they should redistribute the phone numbers for the distress calls through the WhatsApp group and any other social media and the traditional media. And for the community, for the general public, if you are organizing a ceremony, you should make sure that you inform the immediate security agency around the corner where you are going to hold the activity. You may not have the police everywhere. You may not have the presence of the army everywhere, but at least in every corner, at every level of polling unit, you have vigilante. And you have other private security operatives who are operating within the cycle. We should develop an excellent, a good rapport that will help those private operators to swing into action in helping you to mitigate some of the criminal perspective. At the same time, they will help you if you build a good rapport in ensuring that they systematically use some of their intelligence quality, intelligence capacity to put the senses and use their intelligence eyes, intelligence scanners in their brain to be able to fish out some of the behaviors and warn you accordingly.
Okay, before we let you go, I know crime are in different dimensions. As we celebrate, there is this saying that where your own rise stops, that is where somebody's rise starts.
Absolutely.
How can we celebrate, this Yuletide period in a way that we do not, offend others, we do not also violate the laws? In just 30 seconds, if you can respond.
The best we could do is to understand ourselves.
Okay.
And also to extend the greatness and gratefulness and sense of maturity, sense of honesty, sincerity, and ask for forgiveness. Make sure that you shake your neighbor, you check on your neighbor, and you ask your children. As a Muslim, send your children to visit your Christian neighbor. As a Christian, on Xmas Day, make sure that your children and your family visit your Muslim brother to improve and improve their brotherhood and citizenship.
We must thank you very sincerely, and always a delight to talk, with on the program. Yahuza Getso, a security investigation and intelligence management expert. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, and I believe this will be a very handful and very handy for us to be able to support our security agencies as we celebrate the Yuletide season. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Happy Xmas, and my message to all of us.
All right, it's still Saturday Discourse. Time now to go take weekly news wrap. Just stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Weekly News Wrap, your recap of major stories that made the headlines this week. I am Rabiat Shaib. During the course of the week, we brought to you a report by the federal government to reopen all 47 federal unity secondary schools that were shut earlier this month. The Ministry of Education says security has been strengthened, with authorities reassuring parents that students' safety remain a top priority as government continues collaboration with security agencies to prevent further disruptions. Now to a bit from the FCT administration. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has reinstated the Mandate Secretary for Education, Dr. Danlami Hayo, and the acting chairman of the FCT Internal Revenue Service, Michael Angu, who were recently suspended by the minister. Nyesom Wike, while warning against indiscipline within the FCTA, directed both officials to resume duties immediately. Let's now shift attention to humanitarian gesture. The federal government has rolled out the third edition of the Renewed Hope Elderly Support Scheme, an initiative of First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu. The 2025 program themed Finding Joy in Old Age provided financial support to 250 elderly Nigerians, including retired security personnel. Now to healthcare delivery. Residents of Pape community in the Idu district of the FCT have benefited from a one-day medical outreach. The outreach was organized by a serving corps member with the Federal Medical Center, Jabi, offering basic medical services to underserved residents. Finally, and on a lighter note, the Nigerian Union of Journalists FCT chapter marked the Christmas season with a carol service. Journalists from various chapels across the territory gathered in songs of praise, celebrating unity, goodwill, and the spirit of the season. This is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Weekly News Wrap. Join us next week for another interesting package.
Let's talk sports now. Few hours away, attention will now turn to Morocco, where the 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations will be taking place. For more on this and other sports story, let's join our sports desk for Sports Brief.
Anthony Joshua knocked out Jake Paul with a devastating right hand in Miami, seemingly breaking Jake Paul's jaw. Despite Paul's early success with literal movement and jabs, Joshua's power proved too much. Joshua, a two-time heavyweight champion, controlled the contest, dropping Paul twice in the 5th round before finishing him off in the 6th. It took a little bit longer than expected, but the right hand finally found its destination, Joshua said. Meanwhile, Fisayo Dele Bashiru of Lazio will wear Nigeria's iconic number 10 jersey at the AFCON 2025, his debut at the tournament. The Super Eagles face Tanzania, Tunisia and Uganda in Group C, with coach Eric Chile aiming for a 4th AFCON title. Dele Bashiru broke into the senior national team in 2023, providing an assist and winning a penalty in a friendly against Mozambique. Finally, the Africa Cup of Nations will be held every 4 years starting after 2027, aiming to boost tournament quality. The next editions are scheduled for 2028, 2032 and 2036. CAF President Patrice Motsepe explained the decision aims to align African football with global standards and allow host nations more preparation time. With Sports Brief, Wayne Dugu, NTA News.
All right, quickly before we go in the APL, Chelsea earlier played a 2-2 draw against Newcastle, while Manchester City, who have now climbed the top of the table, won 3-0 against West Ham United, while Arsenal have a game tonight against Everton. Well, on that note, we want to thank you for joining us on Saturday Discourse. Let's do it again, same time, same station next week. I am Abdullah Hajja. Good evening.
To have your say on television? Are you interested in airing your views? Do you want to send greetings to your loved ones? Or do you want to make musical requests for your beloved? Do you want to showcase your products and services? For